Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Hearthstone Titans expansion is closing in, so there's not that much time in Festival of Legends left. Now it's not a great time to be crafting decks, so if you want to play something else, you kind of want to play it cheap. So I went ahead and built this budget Face Hunter deck, because Face Hunter is just one of my favorite archetypes of all time, and it also typically is pretty strong on a budget. I had a great time with this deck, winning 67% of my games, so yeah, it seems like it's totally viable. There's some questions about the deck construction. Mainly I have only really one thing I really like most of the things in this deck. The one thing that I do think about a little bit is those top end cards. There's Prison of Yogg-Saron and 2 copies of collateral damage in this deck, and they do come in pretty late, so I'm not sure if those are really optimal, but there's not much to replace them with. There's really only one card that I could consider adding to this deck, and that would be the K9tron. So you could add K9tron instead of a Prison and a collateral damage, or maybe even instead of 2 copies of collateral damage. Because Prison of Yogg-Saron was not my first choice for this deck. Actually, it was the last card that I added to this deck, but it does have its upsides. Choose a character, cast 4 random spells targeting it if possible. So you can also choose the enemy's face and hope that some direct damage is going to happen. Because Prison of Yogg-Saron can do some crazy stuff. For example, once I had Prison of Yogg-Saron used against me, that gave my opponent 20 armor and dealt 10 damage to my face. Like, that sort of stuff can happen. It's like the last hurrah, the last Hail Mary play that you can do with this deck. And you get to play with the free legendary card as well if you want, so I fail to see any downsides to it really. But Prison of Yogg-Saron collateral damage, you can play with them, see if you like them. If you don't, you can replace some of them with K9trons, and that's pretty much what you can do with this deck on a budget. The general game plan of this deck is similar to all Face Hunter decks recently. First you get some minions on the board, you try to buff those minions, so those minions can go face, you deal minion damage as long as you can, and then once you're out of minion damage, well, you have your hero power, you have stuff like quick shot, you have those collateral damages and the prison, and you have Ancient Krakenbane. Ancient Krakenbane, if you cast 3 spells while holding this, deal 5 damage. Ancient Krakenbane has become viable because Bunch of Bananas and Barrel of Monkeys, all of those give you 3 spells in just a single card, which means that you're actually able to activate those Krakenbanes quite reliably and get that face damage in. As for the mulligans with this deck, because you really want to get on the board early, you want to mulligan for your 1-drops, Little Spear, Musician, Trinket Tracker, Baddie Guest. Just get on that board immediately. Totem Musician, finale effect, your next piece you summon gets +1/+1, so that can apply to the bat that comes from the death rattle of the Baddie Guest, that applies to monkeys that come from Barrel of Monkeys, that applies to the first bat out of Frenzied Fangs. Frenzied Fangs is actually a wonderful card to play on 2, even if it's not infused. You can go also like Musician into Fangs for even better effect. It's just a strong card to play. You're generally looking for these 1-drops, and when you have a 1-drop, then you can start to look also for some 2-drops and buffs and ways to really make good use of them. You also have Arrowsmith in the deck. Arrowsmith deals 1 damage after you cast a spell to the lowest health enemy. So Arrowsmith with bananas, an excellent combination for example. But Arrowsmith still, you want to get something on the board first. Arrowsmith is not really the first card you keep. But with the right hand, with already stuff that you can play earlier, Arrowsmith is also something you can consider keeping. It's all about how your hand plays together. But the first step is the 1-drop. And this is what it all looks like in action. I might need the 2/1 Fangs. Alright, they're not even going to be just 2/1 bats. Look at that. Now it's gonna be a 3/2 bat and a 2/1 bat. They have the weapon that starts summoning stuff. Yep, they do. That's gonna hurt. There is the tracker option. But I think I want the bats. So one of them gets the buff now. So this gives me the most power. They could get a healing totem to get this to 2 health. But now I kind of have to hope for bananas. Because on turn 4 we're probably going in with our Arrowsmith and something. It could be the nets, I guess. Because then I still get to choose 2 targets for the nets. Okay. So far so good. Let's see what we managed to pick up from here. We got the nets. I want to do the nets next turn. I want to quick shot here. So I can trade away the entire board. Trying to keep the Totem Shaman. But I mean, things from below and Gigant Totems. How do I answer those? I have the Arrowsmith into nets next turn, so I can deal 5 damage with this across 3 enemies. But after that we don't have much. Okay, this will be fine.
Gotta keep 'em tuned.
I'm going to blast there. We're going to blast there. The Arrowsmith is going to kill that. I get the Batty Guest out there. And I get to hit some face. But now I really would want to find bananas or monkeys. That is exactly what I'm talking about. We hit there. And we hit there. Then we start buffing. Sometimes lucky. Boom. Okay. Starting to believe. Downside is that we are living on our top deck cards here, but as long as it's not the Kraken Bane now. Or another collateral damage. Six, 10, 11. Now we're just going for the dome here. And the Shaman can't heal, right? I don't think the Shaman can heal. And actually it doesn't even matter because I had the Arrowsmith, so yeah, it's exactly lethal. Alright, let's go. Musician. Musician or Batty? I kind of like the Musician because it's going to be harder to get the finale out there later on. There's also a chance that I top deck Monkey or I top deck something else. Or I top deck Fangs. Then I just want to play them. I believe I just want to play them anyway. I mean, obviously, Enrage Warrior can easily deal 1 damage. So there are some threats involved. They could have the 1-drop, they could have the Jam Session. They could have those both and kill almost everything with the coin. But I mean, if it happens, it happens. You can't just... There's only one way I can go with this deck. And that is to go for the dome. And hope for the best. Let's see how it goes. They still need to draw their good stuff. It's not immediately obvious that they will get to draw their good stuff. So, here we go. Hit them in the dome and see if they draw their good stuff or not. There's like 4 cards in the deck that they need. They need one of those 4 cards. Okay. Arrowsmith will only harm the extra. And Arrowsmith can also harm one of these. Okay. I know what I'm doing. I'm trading into one of these. And I'm playing the Arrowsmith. And I'll buff up this one. Arrowsmith will shoot here. I will trade that away with the 1/1. Which means that I can still push some more damage to the face. Now we get the warrior down to 9 health. I have 5 from hand.
The Queen's trove is forbidden.
I get a taunt out there, but that's totally fine. Well, that's able to trade away the 3/6, I guess. So 3 damage to this will be worth it.
My blood boils for war.
We'll also kill the wretch here. Now I need to trade 2 into that, so that the Arrowsmith will hit into it. So this one trades into that. And this one trades into that. And then we can Bobnet's face, which will make the Arrowsmith shoot into that one. And then this can go face, this can go face, and I can hero power. So now the warrior will have to get... They will have to hero power. Because they have to get armor, otherwise they die to my hero power. So they can't use cards worth more than 4 mana. 4 mana is all they've got. So now they're dead. Like that. I mean, an anima extractor is scary. But sometimes playing a deck like this, you just have to ignore it. You just have to ignore it. You have to go on. And push and win. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.